As part of this YouTube channel, I have watched a lot of TV. I've seen 50-year-old women date 20-year-old men on MILF Manor. I've seen people get engaged without ever seeing each other on Love is Blind. I've seen couples separate and move in with other people on The Ultimatum, but nothing has been more caustic, more vapid, more ill-informed than The Parent Test. The show is an absolute disaster, and I'm gonna tell you why. If I wanted to get rich quick, all I would do is produce content for parents, advice content. Not because I know anything about parenting, but because it is a billion-dollar industry that just churns, right? There are books written, blogs written, videos made, articles, TV shows. It is this media monolith, all serving beleaguered parents that are desperate for guidance, desperate for support. The problem is that everything is guesswork. The research sucks. There's no good data. And I feel like every mental health professional, every researcher working in the area knows it. I think they're all full of it, they're insincere, and they're just trying to get views or clicks or article publications. They're just trying to make money. But just think about it logically. How does a researcher evaluate the success of a given parenting strategy? What's the outcome you're looking for? Are you looking for a parent that feels confident in their approach? Are you looking for a child that's happy in the moment? Or are you interested in how the child grows up? Are you interested in a happy adult? Are you interested in an adult that other people like? Right? There are so many different metrics or markers for a positive outcome. And by the way, every parent might appraise those outcomes differently. Success in my family is different than success in another family. So how is the researcher evaluating whether or not a kid grew up to be successful? How is the researcher deciding what actually matters? Maybe it doesn't matter if a kid is likable, it just matters if the kid is happy or financially successful. There's so many different variables. Good luck as a researcher controlling for all the things that impact how a child grows up. How are you controlling for environmental shifts? How do you control for physical prowess? How do you control for looks? How do you control for environment? How do you control for money? How do you control for all of that? The idea that you can look at a parenting style when a kid is 4 and say that's a better intervention than another one is complete bullshit. We're just guessing. An easy example is spanking. Right now, the cultural zeitgeist is saying strongly, don't spank your kid. I challenge you to find a single piece of research that shows that spanking is bad. Kids don't like it. That doesn't count. Does it correct behavior? I'd like to know. Does it matter? Maybe not. Maybe it really matters how respectful the kid is. Maybe it really matters how the kid grows up. Maybe it really matters how the kid views it when they're older. Maybe the kid's view of the spanking when they're older is dependent not on what actually happened when they were a child, but how it's framed by society in the future. There is no empirical research that can tell us whether or not spanking is right or wrong. And I haven't even mentioned differences across cultures. You get the idea. There are way too many confounding factors for us to be able to confidently say that one parenting approach is better than another for a given child. So I promise you, any self-assured parenting guru that you're into, if you dive deep, you will see that their approach to parenting really is not founded in data. It's just their perspective. The research we have, the good research we have, is very thematic, very high level. You should love your kids. You should give your kids positive regard. You should be invested in your children. Anything deeper than that, in my opinion, is unfounded and quite frankly bullshit. So with that perspective out there, I've given you my priors. I will give you 3 reasons why I think The Parenting Test is the worst television show I've ever watched. First, the premise of the show is judgment. Essentially, we are trying to figure out what parenting style is best. So they've brought in, I think it's 8 different parenting couples, all of whom have a different parenting approach, and they have to go through different tasks with their kids. Those tasks are recorded, and then the other parents judge the parenting style. It's just about judgment. So on episode 1, they're trying to get their kids to jump off of a high dive, and you get to see the parents try different styles to get their kids to jump off the diving board. As they watch the parents do it, all the other parents judge. I wouldn't do that. That was too harsh. I liked how you did that. That works. I would never want to have a parent like you. I would love to have a parent. It is just about judgment, which just, by the way, it's a popular show because parents feel guilt and judgment all of the time. So we are just feeding in to that self-doubt. Every parent watching that show from home is asking themselves, how would I navigate that if it was my kid? And how would I be judged? It does nothing but undermine the confidence of the audience. Second, because the goal of the show is to pick out the best parenting style, they have to clearly define the different approaches that parents take, right? So there's the routine family, there's the naturalist family, there's the performance family, there's the whatever, the free range family. They create these buckets as though all of these parents are displaying that style all of the time, which is BS. And we know it, right? You might like routine, but not every interaction with your kid is a routine. As a psychologist, I can't stand when we are so intolerant of nuance. We want to oversimplify everything into some kind of global bucket or category or description that we can just go one word and that's what it is. So you have the natural parents. It's like they're always out in the woods. No, they probably come inside sometimes. And to oversimplify their parenting strategy and just say they're natural parents, it's ridiculous. And again, I think it causes problems because it leads parents at home to think that they have to have some kind of cohesive parenting style, which, side note, I think puts them at risk for thinking they need to consume more parental advice so they can figure out what strategy works best for them. And number 3, I hate that the show has a licensed psychologist who is supporting all of this and saying things like, I'm looking forward to seeing what parenting style pushes kids to get out of their comfort zone best. I'm looking forward to seeing what rises to the top. He knows damn good and well that there are so many variables involved here that you're not going to figure out what style is best in a given situation. All the kids are different. Their genders are different. Their ages are different. The dynamics in their family are different. Oh, and by the way, all of the events that they're doing, the situation is slightly different. So the idea that we're doing an experiment and actually acquiring knowledge from this is BS. And he knows it. We all know it. And yet again, you've got parents at home that are insecure. They're dealing with 2 terrorists that are preteens destroying their house, and they're just looking to feel anchored, looking to feel confident in their parenting approach. And this show is undermining that. And one last thing. So I guess number 4, I can't stand how seemingly confident and arrogant and pompous the parents are about their given style or approach. They're sitting there in judgment, talking about how the other parents, I would never do that, or that's abuse, or I can't believe you would treat your child that way, or that was terrible. And it's like, it just ignores or minimizes the anxiety, the self-doubt, the guilt that is inherent in parenting. I genuinely think that it is damaging for the audience to see that. Other than that, I think it's a wonderful show, and I really hope it gets picked up for a second season. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, all those things. All right, thanks.